Morning. It's last day today, so we drove from what was the outskirts of Tallin into close to the city now. We're parked here for the day. It's £6 for 24 hours, so you can actually get your camper van on here, which is worth knowing. We've seen a few places you can park for that. Anyway, we're going to have a nosy around the city, see how we get on. That's a bit strange outside the hotel Forum. There's a dog howling, so don't get it, but who knows. But it is a very busy city, and there isn't anywhere that comes close. Like in the UK, we have London, Birmingham, Sheffield, Leeds, Bradford, Manchester, Liverpool, all of those big cities, whereas here, Tartu's a fairly big city, but there isn't anything like Tallin. There's nothing like that. Seems we've got some good cycle lanes here, so which is pretty good and bodes well. Yeah, no, we'll go that way around. Yeah, it's a nice city. Like all European cities, they have these scooters that you can rent. The ATM machine. That's a hole in the wall, if you like, and then look at that. How it's all decorated. Very different. I think it's a pub. Yeah, a very bright, decorative pub. We're just popping to have a look at this strange sculpture. Not really sure what it is, to be quite honest. Trying to make it out.
It's a woman playing something off.
Woman playing some sort of instrument. What did it say? It says what? Dedicated to the Tallin Sailing Regatta of the Games of the 22nd Olympiad. Don't remember them having the Olympics here. Along with the electric scooters that you will have all seen about, they do these little electric bikes as well. So there's them, which is more like a moped, and then there's others which are more like a push bike. If you can see that one. Quite cool, really. Yeah, very different. They call that bar the Pepper Sack, and if you look, well, bar restaurant, that's actually what they've got hanging down. What is it? A sack. I presume it would have been like that for pepper. But this is the main town square. So when we came last time, it was winter time, so it was very, very different. Very different. Although I do remember some of these old-fashioned stall things were here. So that the one there in that corner.
This way.
The old houses with the painting on it. It's quite nice that. Really nice old town. We're just heading towards the gates into the old town, but look at the market stalls along here. They're all flowers. It actually smells really, really good. It's really fantastic smells because of all the flowers. Look at it. Never seen so many all in one place. Anyway, there's the gates into the old town.
Yeah. I think you're actually really bad.
Super fucking wrong. It looks very different than what it does in the winter time. It's like a totally different place, isn't it? Some TV thing going on, I think. Yeah. There's don't know who he is. Christine's going for a look. Don't really know who he is. We might have a look in the cathedral. I think that's what's in front of us there. See, Christine's at it again, doing a bit of shit stirring, look. Yeah.
It's heavy though.
Yeah. There you go. We're outside tourist information and there's these. And these are for locking your bike up, so you can use the lock on it. I don't know if you pay for it.
You will, there's a card there.
Yeah, there's a QR code on it, so you use a QR code, you pay for that online, and that'll allow you to use the lock. How cool is that? There's one that's already locked up, look. Seems to have done it the wrong way around. Had a dummy back wheel, it's more expensive than a front wheel. Each to their own, and then an ordinary free one. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a look at the map, and then we're going to probably go and have a look at the cathedral if we can get in. Whereas we guessed this building to be a cathedral, it's actually not. It's it says museum and viewing tower. So, and it looks closed, which would be par for the course for us.
Well, for us they're only, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Oh, it's not. It's open. Are you going in?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Anyway, we're in what's called St Nicholas's Church, now a museum of church artifacts. Yeah, I think it was built in around the 1300s by German merchants and seamen, hence St Nicholas, because he was the patron saint of those. But it's some of it, he said it's supposed to be full of church art, and then there's a viewing platform, so we shall see. That's a model of it. That's supposed to be a tombstone of Adam Schrappfer and his wife Anna Hockra. Torn Tower. I think we're going to walk up there. I think. Oh, there's a lift. Well, we'll see. This was a baptistry from 1680s. There's a, I don't know if you can see inside where the font would have been. You can just see that. Wow, look at them. This is the epitaph of the pastor Johann Hobbing from 1558. Looks like it's just been painted. It's amazing. Yeah. I think there's a thing about Estonian book relics. I think that's on today. We're going to go around the church bit first and have a look. But they We've seen these things before that they usually put over an altar. It says the Passion Altarpiece, workshop of Brugsmeister Adrian Isenblatt, 1515. Overpainting of the outside of the wings by the workshop of Michael Sitow in 1520. The original location is unknown. From the beginning of the 16th century it was located in the Tallin Dominion Friary, and from the mid-16th century in St Nicholas's Church. They are. There's no wonder you have to put your bags and lock them up and take your coats off and things, because I think these are proper works of art that are worth a fair bit of money. I mean, they're in amazing condition. Christine's pointing me for me to go somewhere. So there's like a silver room. There you go. Silver of the Brotherhood of Blackheads. Pendant shields. Oh, that's a strange one. Gilded tankard from 1633. Wow. tank must be extra important. That stood all on its own. There's class here for kids. This is the right thing in a church. There's the organ. Stained glass windows, a very modern one. The organ looks a very modern organ. There's another one of those altar pieces. They're in amazing condition though. So it says retable of the high altar of St Nicholas Church in Tallin, workshop of Lubeck Master Herman Road in 1478 to 1481. The condition of them is absolute. I mean, I presume they've all been cleaned up, but this just amazing. Absolutely fantastic. It's the Virgin Mary with the donors, and Christ as the man of sorrows with angels. So actually, that would be part of the closed view then. So on this is a door with Christ. Would be a closed door. This is with it open. So St Francis of Assisi, St George on the left, Virgin Mary in the middle, and St Victor of Marseille, and then St Gertrude of Nivelles. So that dates back to before 1493. So originally it was in the chapel of the Brotherhood of the Blackheads in the Dominican Church in Tallin. But these must have been cleaned up. They are fantastic. This is for when it would be closed. So you've got God the Father and St John the Baptist with donors. So I'm presuming the donors are the people that paid for it, so they get the opportunity to be in it. And then obviously the back. So when it's completely closed, you would have the Virgin Mary and the Archangel Gabriel. So when it's completely closed up, wow, it's quite amazing. Absolutely fantastic. There's obviously like a school thing that's going on, which is really good. It still looks like it's a practicing church. However, I think it's more of a place where they could keep these relics and keep them in good condition. That's St Anne altarpiece. So that says the epitaph of Dietrich Moller. I don't really understand that, but that's definitely Christ on the cross. Here's another one of those altar pieces. This is another really fancy one. So we've got, I'm not going to read all their names out, but wow. It's nice that you can get up and close to them as well. That's They are fantastic. They must have spent a lot of their life closed. To preserve them. So it's called the Holy Kinship Altarpiece. So it's 1652. This is an epitaph painting of the adoration of the shepherds. And these are what I would call art. I mean, you can, they're fantastic paintings, not like the modern rubbish that you get today, which I could have done myself. That's St. Christopher. Not sure about that. It's got like a pot on his, or it's a stone or a pot or something on his back. Not really sure about the significance of that. Dates back to 1624. It was the support of the pulpit of St. Nicholas Church in Tallin, so that's this place. So that was under the pulpit. They are fantastic. These are tombstones. I've seen a couple of those. They're big tombstones, not like what we have. This is St. Anthony's Chapel. So that's St. Nicholas, Virgin Mary and Christ as a child with John the Apostle. I'm going to read this because I think it's about this tapestry, so I'll read it first. It says, "The dance of death, a type of image developed in the Middle Ages, invites one to contemplate the transience of life. The topic emphasising the university of death, which first arose in medieval literature and art. It received even greater attention due to the Black Death, the plague that devastated Europe in the 14th century. Images and texts presenting the dance of death being performed by mortals stressed human equality in the face of death. In the dance of death, people are lined up according to their social status and are dancing with skeletal figures of death. The sequence begins with the mightiest, such as the Pope or Emperor, and ends with either a peasant, a jester or a child. All that survives of the Tallin Dance of Death is an initial fragment that is 7.5 metres long. Originally, the painting is thought to have been almost 30 metres in length and included up to 50 figures. A preacher in the pulpit is introducing the dance, followed by Death playing the bagpipes and Death carrying a coffin. The first mortal is the Pope, followed by the Emperor, Empress, Cardinal and King. A text in Low German comprised of a dialogue between Death and the characters in the painting on a band below the figures. The Tallin Dance of Death in St. Nicholas Church was first mentioned in 1603. In the mid-17th century at the latest, it was located in the Chapel of St. Anthony, which is where we are now. The initial location and the commissioners of the work are unknown. The Dance of Death has been attributed to Berndt, one of the best-known artists in Northern Europe during the late Middle Ages. In 1463, he painted a work on the same topic for St. Mary's Church in Lübeck, replaced with a copy in 1701 which was destroyed in 1942. The painting in Tallinn is the only surviving medieval Dance of Death in the world that is painted on canvas. So, this is the Dance of Death. So there's your Pope and Death with the bagpipes, Death with the coffin. I think it was Emperor, Death, King, Death, Queen, death. I don't know, I think it keeps working its way down. I'm presuming it would go on and on, like it said, through all the different hierarchies of society. That is a stunning painting. It's a shame that's all that's left of it, but it is huge for what's left. I mean, that's 7 metres. I mean, that's longer than our van. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That stunning. So we're in a kind of a, I suppose it's a collection of bells. Out of breath a bit now. I'll get my breath back and I'll read that for you. It says, Sanctuary of Homeless Bells. Church bells should not wander or become homeless. Nevertheless, it sometimes happens. In most cases, this occurs when buildings are deserted or during a war. The Tower of St Nicholas Church provides a new home to 8 bells that represent the rich heritage of church bells in Estonia, and where we can find examples from the Middle Ages to the height of bell casting in the 19th century. The exposition includes bells from Lutheran and Orthodox Church, a cemetery bell and a manor bell are also part of the collection. The works of both Estonian and Russian masters have been exhibited. The bells cast in the town's foundry in Rupel Street in the vicinity of St Nicholas Church particularly stands out, and their authors Jonas Malmberg and Alexander Feldman were among our most prominent and productive bell founders. So, these are where the bells have found a new home. Oh, there's some more. One up there. One there. One there. Over. Some more steps going up. And I'm not sure where that goes. There's 2 stairwells. I think we'll do the old one first. So, I've just got my breath back and off we go again. Okay, we could get the lift up, but in true fashion we're going to walk up, give us the exercise. So I'll just give you a quick look inside of here. This is what we're walking up. Spiral staircase, we've done them before, and I'll see you at the top. Whew. Anyway, these are our views over Tallin. The airport is somewhere near that big wheel in the distance. There's the outer city walls. God, dear me, I'm bloody knackered. There's a ferry for Finland and Sweden. You can get ferries from. excuse me. Wow, look at that. Orthodox church there. I wonder if they deliberately built them higher than another faith. I wonder if that was like a deliberate thing to get up that, you know, ours is bigger than yours, therefore nearer to God and all that sort of stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll find out one day. Anyway, this is the sky view, which is quite good. I can't tell you, it was a fair old walk up. That's what it looked like in the around about 1600. So we are here, H, St. Nicholas. Okay, we're going to have a look at the exposition for Estonian books. See, these books with the chains on remind me of the chain library in can't remember where it was.
Hereford.
Hereford.
Yeah.
Assuming that these books are all important to Estonia and Estonian culture. I mean, apart from the history of them, and some of them are reasonably modern, some of them are older. Not these are obviously a newer book. But those do remind me of the chained library. It's a testament to how important and expensive books were. We have walked back through the town again, but he's out working now. What the? So, no, never mind. Sorry about that bit of language there. I was referring to the lad that was doing whatever, so. Oh, it smells good, doesn't it? What are they?
It's sweet onions.
Oh, right.
Like this.
This will. Christine, come on. Oh, it's okay. Oh. Yeah, Chrissy, you have to get them. Oh. Thank you. Oh, that's nice.
No, I don't like it.
It's good.
You're not?
Full sugars and 16
Oh,
spices.
good.
Oh, oh.
Really? I'm going to come back later and get
Oh,
some.
that one.
That's good.
You like that? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, no. Vile, that.
I've just tried that.
Horrible.
Because they call them sweet almonds.
Horrible.
Christine loves almonds. But she wasn't so keen on that.
Vile, that was.
But I thought it was really nice.
No. Take that.
I'm trying to think what the flavouring was that was with it. Oh, it was gorgeous.
No, thank you.
Anyway, back up and around in the old town. Last time we was in this square, it was full of, it was the main Christmas market. And if I remember rightly, you could go in there, which I think was the dragon sticking out. Christy can't get rid of that taste in her mouth. I can't remember what the taste was, but it was nice. There's a bench here which is of a dog. I mean, these were all here last time when we had our photos done on them. Christine's practically running to it now so she can get on it while there's nobody there. We're working our way uphill again. I think we're going to do the steps a little bit, maybe a little bit easier. There's a couple more though, so there's one in that corner, there's one up there, and the one with some sort of an offering. There and him up there. It's quite cool. Don't know what he is, but he's really cool. This area is actually called the King's Garden. So I think this area was ruled by the Danes originally. We'll have a look at the town over the wall. Been up there to them windows that were up there and had a look around the town. That's St Nicholas's Church. Well, there is the largest medieval artillery tower in the Baltic States. A legendary battle-scarred tower. Kind of hoping we can get in this Russian Orthodox church, but they're generally a bit weird about things, so we'll see. Oh. If I remember rightly as well, all of the different foreign offices are down here. down that road, if I remember rightly, or around here. I think it's specifically that tower, the round one in the distance, that's the oldest, tallest. Anyway, we're going to see if we can have a look in here. Hopes aren't high. So there's the French embassy. I'm saying foreign office, it's embassy, isn't it? I think there's a Canadian one, I think, isn't it? Is that a Canadian maple leaf on that flag? Maybe not.
Not the church.
No. There's a church here.
What is that?
Yeah. So we'll have a look in here. There's another toilet there, look.
Where?
And gardens. Lovely town. Don't think this was open last time we came. This is welcome to the Dome Church. It's like Christine Ghost, it's €2 this.
Is it?
It's nearly a bloody heart failure. Yeah, I was just thank you. Yeah, we have been here before, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have been in this one before.
Do you want me to walk around then?
Pardon?
Do you want us both to walk around or you to walk around or me to walk around?
I don't know. You, just whatever. We'll both go around. So they call this the Dome Church. We have been here before. These have got quite big pew areas with the high walls on it. There's the organ, very decorative. Got the pulpits, one on that side, like a big box, and then this one on this side. I wonder if it's got anything to do with Finland, because there's like a Finnish cross there, and that's kind of it's like their Finnish military, like the Finnish Air Force cross, except for they have a swastika in it. Yeah, we've definitely been in here before. Little piano. And these are tombs, so the tops of them, I presume, are like what was on the walls in that St Nicholas church. So this would be what a proper tomb would have looked like then. It's not a finished flag. Very strange St Andrew's cross. Very different. Yeah. That's more of a St Andrew's cross to me. This strange panelling at the back. And this is protected, which is a 3 lions and an ox, is it? Don't know, not so sure. Okay, we're going to try and see if we can film in here. I'm not holding any hopes out for it. No, it already says no cameras, big sign for it on there. So look at that one, it's the same trick as we have all over the world.
What?
Putting something underneath it, underneath the feet to try and make it okay, in true style, Christine has been secretly filming on a phone and taking photos, so I will attach them at some point. It's the Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, so Russian Orthodox church cathedral. We walked past what I think is the Romanian Foreign Office. This is the French. There's quite a few of them down these streets. If I remember rightly, last time we was here, the Russian one or the Ukrainian one was had got a well, it was kind of fenced off a bit. So it must have been about 2 years ago when we were here. The war's been going about 2 years, 3 years, over 2 years. I just remember the embassies being down here. So we're looking out of the old town now, into and across the what's New Tallinn, I suppose. I think it's quite a big city and it spreads off right into the distance over there. They line themselves up for a free kick. Or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. Trying to figure out what it was that we're doing. But views are really nice. Really nice, this old town. I do like it here. It's just really nice walking around the old town. Really nice. Anita lived here for a while in Tallinn. She said it's horrible, there's nothing nice about Tallinn at all. And I think Christine said, well, yeah, it's a lovely city. You know, the old town is gorgeous. And she said, no, there's nothing there that's particularly nice. So, no. But it's well kept. I know it's where all the government things seem to be, and seem to be at this top end. It's just a really nice place to just wander around. There's plenty to see. Like there, the cat and not really sure what it is. Weird thing. And the boxes. Look at the boxes. Window boxes. They're quite good. Yeah, I've just heard her say this is the narrowest street in, I think she means Tallinn. Wow, look at that for a view. So, there's another view. We were going to go on the, look at the doors. We were going to go and have a look on the big wheel near the airport, but I don't think we're going to bother now. They're brilliant. Wow. That is really a great view. It's a bit breezy today, but the old town. There's a cruise ship in. There's a lot of Americans here at the minute, so I'm assuming that's where they've come from. In the distance over there, that's a TV tower in the distance. It is possible to go up that and have a look. I think it's about an hour or so's drive from here. So we may go, we may not. But we're not too worried, because I mean we have to keep coming back to this country for Casper, so you know, we don't have to do everything in one hit. There's the Tallin duck store. How strange is that? There's a big police presence down here. Oh, I knew there was embassy down here. That's a Russian embassy, look. We'll take a walk down there. No. There's the Russian embassy. I knew there was embassies and that lot, they were all around here. With the police presence outside. And I mean, that was like fenced off last time we came, because they're not long since invaded Ukraine. So, but anyway, like I say, there's a police presence. There's barriers up on here. It is, yeah. Christian just said, "Is it a Russian embassy?" I said, "Yeah, it's a Russian embassy." So, some people make some stupid statements. If they decide to kill me, it's because I'm incredibly strong. What a dumb thing to say. But yeah. Well, yeah, that's the Russian embassy. At least they've not thrown them out. They're still here. There's a Swedish embassy in front on this right hand side. Italian embassy on the left hand side. I think it's Italian. It is what it is, I suppose. Oops, oh sorry. That's a fantastic looking building, that, yeah. Looks brilliant, doesn't it? Yeah, it's really nice, that. It's a shame you got this at the bottom of it. There's a good view of the rooftops. Just coming into here, this is Christian tells me that we tried to get in here before, but it was shut. Even at the time it said it was open, although I seem to think that we have been in it. But it's called St Peter and St Paul's Cathedral. So anyway, we'll have a look. Pardon? Okay. Maybe we haven't been in here. Nicely polished floor. I'm presuming those two are St. Peter and St. Paul. I don't know which one's which. And the organ. Very modest cathedral, very modest. Well, I'm starting here and I'm seeming to think that that's Pontius Pilate condemning Jesus, I think so. I think that's what these are. Yeah, there you go. Carrying the cross. So it's all the crucifixion. And then I'm presuming it continues on down this side. Yeah. So all depictions of the crucifixion. And that'll be where they're about to put him in the tomb. Stained glass is a bit strange. Look at that. How different are they? Very different. Another prayer area. That looks quite old. Probably the only surviving bit of painting that's on there. I think Estonia had a bit of a reformation. I think. Like we had one. That was St. Peter's and St. Paul's. It's another Russian Orthodox church that would be in Christie's that do some secret filming again, as you do in the Russian ones. So this is Nikolai Church. just come across a I think it's a chimney sweep. It looks very different, very cool. Yeah, chimney sweep. Lovely town, I must admit. Apparently this is like a seaman's thing, but it says here, in memory of the officers and seamen of the British Royal Navy who served and gave their lives in the cause of freedom in the Baltic during the Estonian War of Independence in 1918-1920. And that's what that's about in there. Not going in, but to the gate. Old Fred Dibner would be pleased to see that. There you go, this is a boy. I think it's one of them boys that actually, if it was out at sea and you're shipwrecked and you're near something like this, I think you could get inside. So, which would save you. Maybe not now, or maybe not. I don't know. I know the Germans had them in the North Sea for if they were shipwrecked. But we'll have a look. We're going to have a look inside this. I think it's more of a maritime museum-y type thing. Not really sure. We came down just so we could get our steps in. Just to finish off the day. It looks like rain and I haven't got my waterproof coat with me, so looks like Christine will have to give me it and get wet. We'll see anyway. So let's have a look. Look at this. It's quite fantastic, isn't it? So I think we go in this way. Sometime in the near future. Okay. I know what you do.
Get your barcode to it. Your barcode.
Don't understand.
Come here.
That one. Well, it took some getting in, didn't want to let me in.
Not worth
Yeah, how fantastic is this? So we came across this all by accident. So we've got an old submarine, and over on this side there's an old, what was a shipwreck. Now we've been in a submarine before, and that was at Peenemünde. Yeah. I wonder if that's a wreck that was brought up. I mean, being as it's showing some film and stuff. Possibly. That's a great place for kids to learn about stuff. About the different boys, look. They're amazing. You can actually go downstairs and have a look around. We'll do the... That's a Kasari dugout canoe. So this was brought here to the museum in the late 1970s. And there's it's a wing sail ice boat. So it's very rare because apparently it's steel, the sail. And then they do that on the ice. Wow. Strollers. Look at the ice boat at the back one. You know, the old one at the back. I would have had an ordinary sail on it. It's a racing boat, that. Was it 250? I presume that's the size of the engine. CC class racing boat. Wow. That submarine is fantastic. Look at the mines. More boys. Called a refugee boat. Yep. You all know what they look like. Cadet class dinghy, Delphin, Fin class dinghy. Wow. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's terrific in here. I mean, you can actually go up and over the bridge. I'm not really sure what you gain by doing that. Maybe it gives you a better observation of the whole thing, but it's a sailboard. Wow, sea kayak. It's quite amazing how you can't go over the top. I don't think it actually gives you anything other than the walk up and the walk down. Going around and down to the other side now. There's some more of these buoys. They're like fishing floats, some of them. There's masts, look. Done that before. Climbing those as a sea cadet. Although they don't generally go like that, to be fair. They go in and you climb out, so they're out from the outside of the mast, go into the mast, and they have to climb out onto the platforms. So I'm presuming that this was some sort of maritime hangar. What have we got here, Sam? A short 184 seaplane. Don't see that, to be fair. So here's some seaplanes with models. I think this is this building, so this would be, it is, because you've got the domes, like 3 or 4 domes, so this must have been a hangar for seaplanes then. So that's what it's originally would have been for. And it's a seaplane for the kids to sit in. That's quite cool. And an engine made out of wood and pipe fittings, waste fittings and such like, nuts and bolts, with a copper pipe and some compression fittings. That looks pretty, that looks really good. Really good, yeah. Very, very interesting. Hang on a minute. Very cool aquarium. Nice and clean. Yeah, very cool aquarium. Don't call me Bob. Looking for Bob. We're all looking for Bob. You can read the lips going, Bob, Bob, Bob. A bit of a rubbish joke, that really. Anyway, we're going to have a look inside here. I don't think Estonia had much of a navy up until like the First World War, end of the First World War, and then it needed the Allied nations to help support it. But there's a Lembit. It's a good model. This is a gun, isn't it? I think that's 1/2 inch plate steel. Yeah, this is from the gunboat Lembit. So this actually came off it. The reason why the steel is angled is because it actually makes it thicker. So if it's straight on, it's 1/2 inch, but if it's angled like this to come straight through it, as a round would possibly do, I'll make it 3/4 to 1 inch. What a cracking museum. Absolutely brilliant. Well, while there's nobody about, we'll see if we can get on this submarine. So, doesn't appear to be anybody out at the minute. Yeah, I know, but there's nobody on the sub. No, there's nobody on the sub. But yeah, I'll come back. For the bow planes, that's for taking it under the sea, I think. What's it say for this one? Submarine Lembit. So this was made by Vickers and Armstrong in Britain in 1934. Well, too late really. Now what, we'll get ourselves on its deck. So this was made in Britain. At least it was made in an era when Britain made quality. This on the deck. Now we didn't get the chance to walk on the deck of the other ship that we went on, the one near
Do you go first?
yeah,
Low
okay.
ceiling.
There you go. Yeah, I know. Come on before. Second submarine. Not as cramped as the German one that we went on. That was really cramped. But, the bunks. Forward torpedo tubes. I think in the one, the German one, I think, well, it was actually a Russian sub, wasn't it? I think it was a Russian sub that was at Peenemünde,
Yeah.
and that was ever so cramped. There just appears to be a bit more room on this, whether it's deliberately made for more room, but the bunks are all here. So that's the torpedoes have been destroyed. Here's the bunk, so I guess the forward part was the thing. It still has that kind of an oil smell about it. Yeah, it looks as difficult as it ever was. So, just like the one in Peenemünde. So I'm guessing this is more of an officer's area. Let's have a listen in English.
The officer's mess, or wardroom, was meant for the four most important crew members: the commander, the executive officer, the torpedo officer, and the chief engineer. The commander spent his nights in a separate cabin, while the other three officers lived here. The section under your feet accommodated a magazine, which is an ammunition store with 2,000 cartridges for the anti-aircraft artillery of the submarine. The telephone on the wall was connected to the city network while the submarine was in port.
Where's the telephone? Oh, there.
Was regulated by a complicated 8-step procedure for filling the air bottle with an appropriate pressure. The officer's bathroom, initially located near the toilet, was converted into a hydroacoustic room during the Second World War.
Oh well, look at that for a ward room. Alright, for some. There's the balcony.
Smile.
Well, there's nothing to see. This is actually massively wide and more spacious compared to the Russian one. The Russian one was ever so compact. Well, this is some space to move around. Oop.
Zaya, ты меня слышишь?
Oh, golly. Well, there's the engine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 12 cylinders. Heater there.
It's the end.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Robert.
No. For your electric, bolts, amps, power switches.
Остальные члены экипажа. В носовой и кормовой части подводной лодки жили остальные члены экипажа. На борту Левита было максимально 28 человек. Этот отсек рассчитан на 8
like this with their up there fitting.
The ratings lived in the aft and fore sections of the submarine. The Limbit's enlisted crew could be composed of up to 28 sailors. This room was meant for 8, while the torpedo room in the bow accommodated as many as 16 enlisted men.
Wow.
The crew slept in shifts, as normal on vessels. There is a storeroom under the floor of this room. The toilet here was meant for ratings. On his way here from the torpedo room, for example, a sailor had to salute the officers in the mess and the control room on his way back, at least 4 times altogether.
Okay. Working our way back through again. It's just for us one way in and one way out. Sprinkler system. But I bet it was cramped and horrible, you know, in here. And especially when you were diving. No. Pardon? If you want. There we go. So this is Wambrola Lennox, model of a destroyer, Vambola Lennox. So this was a destroyer from the 1920s. Some of the medals that people have received. And the sailors, I suppose they're famous Estonian sailors who've served. I think that's here, Tallin. Kalev, that is the sister to that one, so Lembit, and that's Kalev. Kalev was its sister. So that'd be a replica or an exact same model of this one. Minesweeper, look at that paddle steamer and submarine Lembit, which we've just been on. Some of the naval uniforms. 1930s naval mine. It's a mine layer, not a mine sweeper. I think they're cap badges from the Navy. 12. That's 12. Whether that was 12 ships in total, I've no idea. Let's have a look at the gunnery. So I'm thinking that the gunner lines up his sights from here through there. And then loaded, and I'm guessing that was a trigger, and then something a bit bigger. The class is small caliber, goes for small caliber front, so they're quite old, these. 2 3/4 pounder. This is 1896. Well, and then we've got some bigger guns. I mean, they've obviously been broken at some time. But, 45mm Canet gun. That's a fair old gun, that. Go on.
Can't.
Christine's having a go at it. You can have a go at picking it up. Let's have a look.
Well, have I? Oh, Mr. He-Man. Mr. He-Man.
Yeah, it lifted up a little bit easier than what I thought it was going to, because that lad struggled to pick it up, and then Christine couldn't pick it up at all. I got myself set to yank it off the floor. It come up as easy as out. nearly threw it up to the ceiling at a right row. Oh dear. But, yeah, they're right guns, these. But yeah, there again, look. Put all the plating on. The plating's always at an angle. So anything that's shooting at it straight, it creates the, not illusion, but it makes it thicker armour piercing than what it actually is. So if a bullet was coming through at an angle like this, like that, it makes the metal appear or act like it's 3/4 of an inch or an inch thick. Hence that's why they're never square on. There's a small bit, it's even rounded at the front lot. I guess this was for calling up onto the English. Oh yeah, it's stuck now. Yeah, so I guess that was for getting you up onto the conning tower.
Was converted into a hydroacoustic during the Second World War.
And back down here to this end and then out. Got all the different mines down there. I suppose it gives you a good idea of what a Second World War looked like for us. This is the deck. taking us towards the back. There's your conning tower up there. The conning tower. Use my camera extended for that. And then it obviously takes you to the stern, the back of the ship. Really good. So excellent museum, excellent. Pleased I'm not on the plane when Christine's flying it. Anyway, you can do some climbing here, which I think is pretty good for kids. So there's the opportunity to climb the masts, which I think is quite good. There as well. There's people doing stunts and things like that. Yeah. It says the expansion of the European world. And I suppose this is what it would look like on the back of like a ship from the 1800s. So that we'll be looking at the back from, I suppose, the captain's cabin. I think that's where that was. Now we've been to Iceland where there's two of those are kept in kind of captivity. They're in oops, I'll back up a little bit. They're in a bay off I can't remember what island they call it now. What island do they call it of Iceland where they are kind of protected? So yeah. Yeah, Beluga. Look at how the maps have changed. Like 1815. Oh, sorry, 1827. It's all of the same area. 1835, with more detail going on each time. Telescope and a watch, sextant and a watch, all for telling and working time out. Wow, look at those. Wow, look at them slippers. Didn't they use those for muskets? And they have like pouches on those. I don't know why I'm asking him on there. I suppose like a history of the world in a way. Not just Estonian. Small warship. Another sextant. I suppose that's another call it a reflecting circle, but I think it's probably a kind of a sextant, the same. So there's a hammock here for, I think it's more for the kids to get in and sit on. Don't know if Christine wants to do that. Mapping the Australian coast. So look at this. So in 1630 we had that. In 1664 it was that. In 1749 it's started to take shape a little bit. 1785 pretty much got it now. 1803 2024. And some famous discoverers. So we've got James Cook here. He was a British explorer, took 3 circumnavigations in the second half of the 18th century, focusing on the Pacific Ocean. He explored the island groups of the Central Pacific, Antarctica, the western coast of North America, and sought the existence of the Northwest Passage. He became the leading explorer of his time, and his work remained influential long after his death. And I think, oh, he blinked. Watch the painting. Look at that. That's brilliant. Watch the painting. That was quite cool, that. He nods and blinks, yeah. Yeah. That's quite good, that. It's a shame they're all not like that. There's another one here, look. I must admit, it does catch your eye. It does catch your eye. Very, very, very good museum. Very good museum. I suppose like a deep sea sub. Kip of the cap.
toitained satuvad merre suuresti inimtegevuse tõttu. Oma rolli mängivad intensiivne põllumajandus, tööstused, reovesi ja nii mõnigi hooletu laevakompanii.
I think it's basically teaching kids about looking after the seas and plastics and all that kind of thing, which is really good. Yeah, it's about nature and that kind of thing as well. Better for nature, better for you. These are those boys that we were looking down on. It's a truly, truly amazing museum. Never been in anything like this before. Very interactive. That was for transporting you across from ship to ship. If that's a photo there. I think that would have been, I think that's for firing a line across in the first place, I'm assuming. Possibly. I have no idea. Yeah, there's a rope, look how it will peel off. Unless it was for whaling. Who knows? I think we've got a jet ski here. So we'll get ourselves sat on it.
AV-140, this is the Sea Salvage Centre. There is an emergency. A sailing boat capsized east of Kyle. A man in the sea.
It is your mission to find the Right, switch swap.
He died.
Switch swap.
Let's hope I never have to do a job on life saving then. He died. Christine's going to have a go now.
AV-140, this is the Sea Salvage Centre. There is an emergency. A sailing boat capsized east of Kaiholm. A man in the sea.
It is your mission to find the victim floating on the water. You have 3 minutes to do it. Good luck.
No, I couldn't find him either. Okay, that's the upstairs done. We're now going to go down now so we can have a look downstairs. Wow, that's quite amazing having that out the water, so you can actually walk around it, touch it, feel it. It's brilliant. So we'll have a walk around this bottom bit and then we'll go in there. It says Algus the beginning, so we'll look at that after. We're probably going to need a battery. But look at that, that's fantastic. But this is absolutely amazing. Oh, look. That's brilliant that you can actually walk around it and touch it. So I can touch the propellers. You know, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I'll do the length of this first before I move on to anything else. But yeah, it's just fantastic. I can't believe you can actually walk completely around it. I mean, as a kid you could get underneath it. It's brilliant. They must have rocked and swayed a bit in the water. Look at the bow planes from below. There we are. What about that for a torpedo? Seen torpedoes before, and they're massive things. Oh, Christine's seen these aeroplanes you can go in. So they're really quite cool. It's absolutely fantastic. Huh? Wow. Absolutely brilliant. So Christine's having to go first. Flying. No. That's it. You're supposed to look where you're going. You crashed, Christine. Yeah. Yeah, you crashed into the sea. Yeah, you crashed. I think you lasted 20 seconds and you crashed into the sea.
think it lasted longer than me.
Okay, after Christine's, neither of us managed to find the person, although Christine did crash the boat a couple of times. But look at these for mines. So it's kind of how they launched them, isn't it? And then they were fastened to the bottom of the ocean, weren't they, on long wires? I suppose they're all different types. Wow. There's your chain, look. Can't believe how many different ones they've got. And I presume all the wire and everything is in here. There's a inside of a mine there. Another one, look, the wire, so you can see the wire tether. They're just amazing. Absolutely just fantastic bottom mines. I'm not sure what that means. Bottom line. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Not sure about the floor. Wow, look at this. Do something with that. I don't know what it is. Not really got time at the moment. But cargo ship at Eurus. There's a mock-up of underwater heritage in Estonian waters. So I suppose there's some of the things that are around in the Estonian waters, and then you've got this. Here, which would have been this. So it's the presumed shape of the ship Massillin, and that's the wreck of it, a model of it, and there you go, that's it. So how fantastic is that? And then they're showing you like a film in the background of it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really like that. What's in the August thing? What's in the August thing?
Not gonna.
Alright, okay. I think that's the last thing for us to see. So this is a hangar for the seaplanes. As you can see, I think it made a good use of it. There's a bit of film there showing you what it looked like. And I suppose it was more of a derelict building. There you go. It was a derelict building, and this is what they've made out of it. So Right. Wow. Oh, that's a dive suit. Wow. Look at that for shit. Well, this one, I presume that's some sort of dredger. It's made out of bone, isn't it? It doesn't actually tell you. It's sextant again. That would have never sailed, surely. Look at them pants. Old sailor's trousers. Pardon? Lifeboat. Christine wants to go in the lifeboat. I think that's the thing that had the kiddies show on, the cartoon show. Christine wants to go in and have a look at. I've already been in there. I'll keep it on just in case it isn't that, but I think that's what it is. Is it the yellow thing? Yeah, with the cartoons on inside. Yeah. We'll have a look at that in a minute. I don't think we'll be far off being done then. It'll be time to go and get some tea. It's probably siling it down outside. So yeah. Wow. Oh no, I haven't been up here. So there's a lifeboat. What Christine's having a look in. What's the buttons do?
What?
You sat on the buttons.
What one? Don't do it, does it?
Alright. Oh, Christine's testing the lifeboat out. Stinks of rubber. I can smell the rubber. There's telling you about it. It's yeah, a bit difficult to read it. It's not in English, to be fair. It does tell you inside. Right, I must say that this has been one of the best museums I've ever been in. Absolutely terrific, and there's space for more. So I don't think they've even finished what they're doing with the place. Absolutely terrific. Really good. To come to an end, only to begin again. See you soon. Oh, there's toilets here, look. While I'm waiting for Christine to come back from the loo, I'll just finish with a video of that submarine. Absolutely brilliant in here, absolutely fantastic. So pleased we came, and it was only on a bit of a whim that we came here. We were just looking for something to do, That was all, just to kill a bit of time before we go to the airport. We decided that we weren't going to go on the big wheel because I don't think we'd have got any better view than what we got from up at the top on the church when we was up there, and also up off the from the old town. So we were looking for somewhere to go, just kill a bit of time while we go for tea, and we came across this, well, found this place. But let's have a look at some of the fish while we wait for Christine. Look at those beauties. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Beautifully clean tank. There's a little bit of sediment on the top there, but to be quite honest, I mean, wow, that's pretty close to being amazing. Good day. But a really, really good day.